I'm back, and I haven't really had an answer. But now, yeah, I'm thinking I'm back.
Let's go. Heck yeah. I'm back, everyone. Take your seats, ladies and gents. And we're getting ready for the Peti Kish Hun live. I'm back today, surprisingly, on a Tuesday, because I skipped last Friday. All right, there's a lot of things to talk about today, to just talk in general, what has been going on the channel itself, and what is going on in pulp culture, entertainment, gaming, movies, all sorts of things. Okay, so let's start with, before we start with anything I'm going to be talking about, we're going to go first is like the stream, guys. Like the stream if you enjoy what you see, and subscribe on here, please, if you could. I appreciate it very much if you enjoy what I do on here. A lot of content on here for you all to enjoy and, you know, have a interesting conversation to go in here with too. Yeah, there's all sorts of things on here, guys. If you haven't seen my channel, like I said, I talk about a lot of topics with pulp culture, gaming, movies, you know, entertainment, all that, and a little bit of something else in between, if I can. And we all use pretty much common sense and critical thinking, and do as much as we can to, you know, see what we can do to make things a bit better in general. We point out the negative and we point out the positives about every situation. That's what we do on here. And so, what is going on? Okay, it's been a while since I streamed or in general did anything on here. It's because I pretty much got burnt out. Let's be real here. I'm going to be straight with you guys. I got burnt out with a lot of streaming, but also just content in general with videos and stuff. I'm trying to get back into it more and more, but it's just the aching of it. I took a little bit break during, you know, Easter or spring break. I took a little time. I got this new chair, if you guys see, like this nice like leather chair. I got it from a family member, and it's pretty good. I feel like freaking was it Morpheus or Neo from Matrix, where they're just sitting down and they're like, let me talk to you about the Matrix kind of deal. I feel like that right now in this chair. It's so comfy. It's so good for my back, because I have back problems, but this is a nice comfy chair. Let's just say that. I feel really comfy in this chair right now. Last year I had it was good, but I always switch out chairs. I don't know. I feel like none of the chairs I always get feel good, especially those gaming chairs. The gaming chairs are ass. Every time I get like a gaming chair, I just like, you know, fuck it. I'll just get one that's like an office chair, but a little bit more comfy in it, you know, just to sit around, relax. You know, this chair, you can't like move it back and forward, but you can still swerve it. But in general, I'm doing stuff anyways on, you know, on the computer. So it's better for me anyways with mouse and keyboard if I'm more like positioned properly, you know? I'm still getting used to it in general, but it is good. It is a very good chair. All right, besides that, I got burnt out, like I said. I took a little break during the Easter break or spring break or whatever you guys want to say. And I'm like, okay, I'm going to stop making videos for a little bit and maybe come back. Maybe just do little streams here and there. And then last week, I I updated Windows for my PC, and it really fucked up the whole programming of Windows. And I should have known, when I update Windows, it usually does that. It just messes it up. I totally forgot about it. I updated it on that day or that night, and it glitched out and it couldn't go on the computer. So that was the whole problem with that. And I was like, oh, I gotta cancel the stream on Friday. I had to cancel the stream. So I was like, oh, maybe I'll do Saturday. And then I went out Saturday, and I was like, oh, I can't even do After Dark Saturday stream either because I'm pooped. I'm literally exhausted. And I was like, maybe I'll do Sunday. And then nothing. And there was supposed to be an After Dark special, 2 weeks ago, but I had problems with my internet in general. It was dipping a lot in and out, as well as I was going to have a guest on, and the guest couldn't come. I didn't get the memo, didn't get the message, the DMs for it. And we're still in talks of he would be coming on the show, and still, we're trying to figure out a good time so we can have a nice balance so we can do the show. It might be late Saturday. It might be on Sunday. I don't know what we're thinking of yet, but we're going to definitely have him on this show. I really want him on here so we can have interesting conversations going. It's going to be not this format, what I'm using in OBS. It's going to be the StreamYards format, because I really don't know how to make the OBS work with a proper one-to-one conversation with people on the stream. So we're going to try out the StreamYards. If it sucks, we'll do something else instead. I know StreamYards has problems. It's ass in a lot of situations, but just the one-on-one talking with people, it's a better situation for that concept. I don't know if OBS has a layout like that. If you know of anything, let me know in the comments below. If you're seeing this in the past broadcasts, in the later views, let me know if you guys know of any kind of OBS trick to do this. Because I could do it through Discord, but I don't know if that would work out. I want my guests to see what I'm showing off in general, if I can. But, it depends, because the internet always dips in and out, and it's not the best internet speed, obviously. It's doable, but it's not the best. Let's just say that. I wish I had better internet speed. I really do. But I don't. I really don't. So, yeah, that's pretty much what happened, guys. I'm going to try to do more movies, or not movies, more content on here. I know I've lost a couple of subs. It is what it is. I have to look out for my own health, my own insanity. So, you got to take some time off sometimes, it's you push yourself a little bit. You want to relax. I went out and did a lot of things because the weather's getting better, and I want to just relax a bit, do some things outside, some gardening, some just stuff to clean up, spring cleaning kind of deal. Yeah. So I wanted to do that, and that's just how it goes. All right. Okay, so we're gonna get into the topics ahead here. There's a couple of topics here. I don't know if we're gonna go too long today, guys, because there is a couple of topics, but we're going into the main topic soon. But let's get into some smaller ones if I could. Oh no, is my internet lagging up? Okay, we're good. It's really, really slow for some reason. But yeah. All right, quick topics, guys. We're going to shotgun through these real quick. Okay? So, first topic. So, there was Star Wars Celebration. It came by like a fart in the wind. They announced some projects that are coming, and that was it. It was literally nothing really of a to talk about. Let's just say it was just there and it's gone. Nothing really big. But I just want to bring this up because they re-released an old Star Wars movie. It's the one from Episode 3 back in like 2005 or 2006, if I recall. And here it is. So, Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, re-released, earned $42.2 million at the global box office. Not bad. For an old movie like this re-releasing, not bad. Like I said, movie theaters are in trouble. We know this. And most of the time, people just want to go back to what they remembered, or they never watched this and they saw it on like DVD or something, and rewatch the old classic movies, or just in general, cult classic films. And, Star Wars is going to make a lot, especially, the prequel. I would say the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy, I think, is probably the best ones. Some people can argue I like the original Star Wars, the first wave, and then the prequel trilogy. It was good, but it wasn't my favorite. But this one is probably the best one from the prequels. It really ties in a lot of things that happen in between, A New Hope and this, Revenge of the Sith. It ties it pretty nicely together. And doing this well is not surprising at all. Now, I would like to see, I've heard it's like the 10th anniversary of Force Awakens. I would like to see them re-release that one, the Disney new trilogy. I wonder if it would do more in sales than in this, in general, for the global box office. But to be honest, I doubt it. I doubt it would do much at all. Because people have realized when that movie came out, everyone was hyped because Star Wars was gone for a while. And then when people watched Force Awakens, they said it was an okay movie because we didn't know much of the story. And even me, I only watched that one time in the movie theater, one time. Even then, I felt iffy about the whole stuff, about what is going on. It's just a rehash of New Hope. But the death in that movie, I don't know if I want to spoil it, but if you haven't seen it, whatever, it's been 10 years, guys. If you haven't seen it, that's too bad. The death of Han Solo and everything like that literally soured me so hard. I really didn't like how they implemented the death of Han Solo. And he's like one of my favorite characters in the Star Wars universe. Han Solo was my favorite. I have like a Han Solo cup and I have like a bunch of Han Solo stuff. He's my favorite character, hands down. I always thought he was a cool character, a little the smuggler kind of character. I thought he was cool. But yeah, so Star Wars, a re-release of Force Awakens, I don't think it would do as well as it when it released, because we found out with the trilogy what happens at the very end, and it just sours the whole experience. Even the first movie sours the whole experience because you know what's going to happen. And you know it's going to lead to something. It's just going to lead to shit. So, yeah, this is why they won't release it. But they will release Revenge of the Sith because it is actually a good movie. It's like the Empire Strikes Back for the prequels, I would say, because it's a win for the dark side. And the light side have to fight back in the next one. So that's why you have the New Hope. And that's why it's interesting when you have this power struggle between dark and light, and you have that story arc. It's super interesting, and that's why people are interested because, usually good guys win in stories, but like when the bad guys win, that's when it's like, whoa, what is going on? This is rare when this happens, but kind of deal, But like, it's just told well in general. Everything about this movie, even if you think about Empire Strikes Back, it's just told well. All these stories are told well. I like all of the 6 movies, even episode 1 and even episode 2. It has its flaws, but I still enjoy those too. But I like all of them in all the 6 movies. Disney, not so much. But it is really awesome to see that there is actually Star Wars is not dead. Disney Star Wars is dead. But Star Wars in general is still thriving as we speak. It is. And it's nice to see that it's still going on. Disney Star Wars, not good. Not good at all. Bunch of bad. It's bad. All right. So we got that done. What's next? Okay. Next topic, guys. We got a bunch here. Another movie that came out. Let's see. There you go. So we got Critical Drinker here. This is a movie called Sinners. This passed my radar, but I hear really good things about this movie. It's a vampire in New Orleans kind of vibe story. And let's see what the Critical Drinker has to say. The Critical Drinker says, Sinners is a pretty damn good film. A little on the long side, but visually superb, emotionally impactful with excellent performance and a bizarre but striking combination of From Dusk Till Dawn set to blues music. Probably Ryan Googler's best movie so far. So, I've seen people praising this movie. It's like really, really good, but more people watch it, they have some issues about. It's not a perfect movie. What I hear about, it's like a 7 out of 10 or a 6 out of 10 kind of movie. So it's good, but it's not like a movie you want to watch again and again and again. But it is a good movie. Would I watch it? Probably. I'd probably watch this. It looks interesting. I'm digging the vibe, and it's a new kind of IP, so that's also a plus. It's not like a rehash or remake or, an upcoming, trilogy or something. It's something new. So good for them. The Sinners is doing pretty well, so I am happy about that in general. So Sinners, recommended movie for sure. All right, so let's get to the next one here. We're going fast. I have to put this in real quick here, guys. So there is a new movie that just came out this week. This weekend it came out. I forgot or whatever. And it's a game movie. It's a game movie. Trying to find it here, guys, real quick here. This is it. Sure, this is it. Yeah, this is it. Okay, so new game movie came out and people are talking about it. Not much actually to talk about. It's a low budget movie, so it's not going to make big money, but it is going to make probably their money's back. So we got Until Dawn. You know me, I talked about Until Dawn. I love the game that came out for Until Dawn, on the PlayStation 4 or on 5, I guess. And I enjoyed that game a lot. It's probably Supermath's best game, but they made, this movie. And I've been posting on my Discord community about this movie. And from what I saw, I knew this is going to be not Until Dawn. This is going to be maybe references to Until Dawn, but this is literally one of those bad adaptation movies like we've, seen in the past. Recently, some of the movies and shows have been getting better. We saw that with Sonic. We saw that with the Mario movie. We saw that with the Minecraft movie. We saw that with... There's a couple. If you could say, but I wouldn't say it, The Last of Us show as well as, Fallout. Those I wouldn't say really, but there are people that enjoyed that. But this seems like it's not as good. So what I hear about this is, if you're a fan of the games, you're not going to like this. If you come into this as not knowing anything about the game Until Dawn and watching this, you're probably going to enjoy it for what it is because it has some interesting concepts, but you're going to probably still not going to like it because the writing is still ass. So here in Metacritic, we see the reviews for it. Here's the Metascore, mixed and average, 49. And user score is 5.8. So it's not doing good. It's mixed and it's not doing good. It's doing pretty bad. So Until Dawn is Until Dump. It's not literally Until Dawn. It's literally, the story is some kids are missing. She needs to find her sister, and a bunch of other diverse kids or high schoolers, college kids, try to find his sister. They go there, blah, 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 and they get murdered one by one, and then they wake up and they have to repeat. So they keep on dying until dawn, like they say. And they have to figure out what the heck is going on. They have the Wendigo kind of creatures there that look really bad, CGI'd in, and all sorts of different things. And yeah, that's pretty much the premise of the story. So it's like a spin on it where in games you die and you come back. But in Until Dawn, if you played it, you don't come back. You just die. So that doesn't make no sense. I see what the concept could have been. They could have called this something else completely different and not used Until Dawn. It would have been okay. But they used Until Dawn and it's not Until Dawn. This also feels like a movie that should have been straight to Netflix kind of deal movie. Not movie theater quality. Not movie theater quality at all. So let's see what they got here. Let's see. There's a lot here people review. I don't know if we're gonna see all these reviews. Critic reviews or I don't know. I'm looking at these reviews. I don't know. What did IGN give it? 50. Until Dawn, more disappointing than Deadly, leaving all the promise of the horror game behind for a jumble of horror movies recreation. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. It seems like it's bad. Their users review a Metacritic? I don't even know. Barely use this. It's pretty bad. Yeah, I don't know. These are users. The users is going to be weird. Some people are going to hate it, some people are going to love it. But either way, it's mixed. And most of the critics agree with the people now, which is really rare. So that means both sides really don't like this movie. So yeah, Until Dawn, a piece of garbage movie. Pretty much. We're still getting some bad gaming movies. People are saying, "Oh, we're getting good gaming movies now." No, not really. We're not getting the good ones yet. They're still coming out. They're still moving forward. So yeah. That's just That's just how it is, I guess, for this one. Okay, next. Let's see. Next we have here an interesting one. Another quick one here, guys. So we have here Ghost in the Shell. Anyone knows Ghost in the Shell in like the 90s? Well, the director came out and said something about what is going on in the culture itself, in the Western hemisphere of the world. And this is what he said. So, Pirate Nation posted this. Ghost in the Shell director, I'm going to butcher this, sorry guys. Mamori Oshii says Western games are really terrible due to political correct culture. Yes, that's what I said. The narrative of stuff, if you have to push that narrative, it destroys the creativity of people, what they want to make. So, if something needs to be politically correct, it ruins your creation because you can't get out of the box. That's why he's saying this is happening in gaming and in movies and shows and anime, everything. So let's see what he says here. Let's see. Can we read this? Oshia, politically correctness started from the idea of giving legitimacy to a socially weak. There is nothing wrong with that. In a mature society, it is a natural responsibility. However, the problem is that if has taken that as its starting point and made the socially weak into the strong. So, like I said, people on the internet have been very sensitive, different subjects, sensitive in general in everything. You can offend a person so quick, it's ridiculous. Where is the people with the strong backbone to, just take it as is? But now everything has to be correct. So, it has to be made correctly in, entertainment. So, if this is happening in the world, we need to represent that in this medium. No, I want this medium is for escapism. I don't want your stupid, dumb politics or your correctness in my game or movie or in any entertainment. Thank you very much. That's why it's escapism. People don't want to be literally reminded of the real world situations, Oshia, they were giving priority to getting into school and priority in finding a job. What's more, the companies that advise them charge them courageously amount of consulting fees. Oh, here comes the consultant firms again. You need to do this because this is what is going to happen. If you doesn't do this, then you don't want this to happen to your career, kind of deal. The blackmail, pretty much. Game companies ask for hundreds of millions of you from them. Oshia, basically, it's based on admiral. If you're deny administration, entertainment losses, it's the reason for existence as entertainment. In the past, even if you said beautiful people would say it was discriminating. Western games are really terrible political correctness. Yes, and this is a problem in the West for sure. And more, like I've said in my videos, more and more Japanese devs or Japanese creators out there are talking about this, that the West is very toxic on what they're doing. And more of them are speaking out, no, we just want to do things our way and create things our way with our own, kind of culture spin on it. I don't know what's wrong about that. And then you have these localizers trying to change things up and destroy what they're bringing out here to the West, the Japanese market to the West. and it's just obscurely weird. It just doesn't make no sense when you add all these dumb layers to it. And yeah, it's definitely about control. It's definitely about controlling the narrative, controlling people's minds, controlling what they think, what they need to listen to. And there's no freedom of thought. And I said that before. Use your critical thinking. If you can make a gut feeling. Like I said, I use a lot of times my gut feeling. I feel things, usually what I think, I read something. I like to double check things, before I check stuff and see if this is correct or disinformation in a lot of instances. But yeah, this is very good. A W for the Ghost of the Shell creator for sure for saying this. I'd love to see more creators come out and talk about these issues, about cultural correctness, and then trying to do it for a modern audience. Like we've said before, that they're not really using that phrase no more because they know it's bad. It doesn't sell no more. Or another one is back to, what is it? Another word they usually use is back to ordinary, back to the roots, or back to what it used to be. And it's usually not. It's false information. It's just falsified pretty much. But yeah, I think I'm going to talk about different subjects another time for these quick topics. I think that's it. Let's get into the big topics now. I think it's time to get into those. For sure. Let's see here. I'm going to cancel these real quick so I don't have them in my feed. All right, let's talk about Oblivion. So, it was a week ago I said something about this, that we were talking about Oblivion, Elder Scrolls 4 Oblivion is going to have like a remaster / remake. And that was leaked online, which, again, putting my tinfoil hat on, I think it was the devs who leaked it online to get hype up for the game. Because on that Tuesday, after I talked about that I think it was on a Friday, about Oblivion, guess what happened? It came out next week on a Tuesday, and it got shadow dropped. Everyone started playing. Everyone's like, oh, I got to play this game. It looks amazing. Bunch of people were interested to pick it up, and everyone was excited because all we had for a long time was just Elder Scrolls 5 Skyrim, kind of deal. And now we got this new thing, and people are just hyped up about playing a new Elder Scrolls game, which isn't an old game, but it feels new because there's so much new stuff they added, and like the shadows, the graphic fidelity for Unreal Engine 5, which Unreal Engine 5 runs like ass sometimes, not gonna lie. It really does. I feel like Unreal Engine is not really a great engine, to be honest. I don't think it is. I feel like Unreal Engine 4 was a bit better and more stable than Unreal Engine 5. 5 is unstable, and it's not good for PC as much, but that's for another story. But people are loving this game. I'm going to check out right now on SteamDB what we can find about this game in general, how it's doing. Let's see. Elder Scrolls 4, Oblivion Remastered. Here we go. So, we had all-time peak 216,784. Really good. Really good. I feel like this could have been more since it was shadow dropped. It could have done more since it just came out like out of nowhere, like out of the blue. Here you go. You can play it now. If this was more hyped up, maybe gave it a couple of months in there, this could have been a bit more. It's a little bit over. It's underperforming a little bit, but it's still not bad. It's not bad at all. It could have been better. It could have been better. 98,000 playing right now, not bad at all. For a Tuesday, not bad. So it's doing well. It's doing well. So that's good. This game, I hear wonderful things. It's 1-to-1 the same. Better graphics. I saw some people, again, people are going to complain on the internet. The graphics don't look as good as the original. That's a bunch of bullshit. The graphics do look good. I said it looked like a modded version of Oblivion, and then I looked more into it, and now it's like, nah, it looks like a brand new game. Which then again, it should have been called a remake, not a remaster. That's just my opinion, but since it's built from the ground up, pretty much, with the new engine, you would think it's a remake, not a remaster, but whatever. They're saying it's a remaster. There's a running mechanic. There's a lot of different things you can do in Oblivion. And this is awesome to see because it's an old game. It's like a 20-year-old game. And, I'm not really for remastered remake, but when it's a game that's like old like this, it really does need a better an upgrade. It really does for a better better mechanics in some way to make it a bit better, but also making it feel the same. You need to have the same personality, same characteristics, same visual fidelity, like how it felt like when you played it 20 years ago. I'm okay with remasters, remakes, because people say, oh, remaster remakes are horrible. Yeah, if they were made like 5 years ago, like Last of Us 2, Part 2, we don't need a remaster of that remake. It still is a good game. You could still play it. Same with like God of War 2018. I don't need that. I don't need that. Or a Days Gone. Like those games are just cash grabs. You don't need a remaster remake. It doesn't make that much of a difference. But when you have games like this, or even the Metal Gear Solid 3 Delta remake coming out later this year, like, yeah, that's okay because that's a PS2 game. That's fine. That's a PS2 game. And it's like almost 1-to-1. So it's almost, you could even call that a remaster, but it's a remake since it's built on a new engine, new hardware, and it's built from the ground up. So it's a remake. So it's a bunch of baloney. The advertisement for this, it's not a remaster, I think. This is, I think, a remake since it's built from the ground up. But either way, people are liking this game, and it's great to see. I love to see this. But there is a problem going on, though, about this game. Besides, certain bugs here and there. It's a Bethesda game. That's usual. You're going to get bugs, but not as bad of a bugs as it's made for. So they actually fixed a lot of bugs, and they made it better. Okay, of course there's going to be bugs, but not as much as reported as. Like any other Bethesda game, since it's Bethesda published, but it's not made by Bethesda. I forget what the companies who made this one called. Let me see. Developer, Virtuous. So Virtuous did this, and they did a great job. And it's only published by Bethesda because it's their IP. So they did a great job. Now, if this was Bethesda making this, it would have so many bugs. It would have so many, issues. But yeah. But we have to see what people are complaining about because there has been a complaint. And it's about body type 1 and body type 2. And as you know me, I'm not a big fan of body type 1 and 2. It is very annoying. I agree. When you're creating a character, it's literally male and female. So they don't want to say male and female, and all they want to do is body type 1 and body type 2. Other games have had this before. Yes, it's annoying, but you go through it, and then the game is good. And people are saying it's not a big deal. If it's not a big deal, why is it in the game then? We ask this question. Why is it there? So there was literally, people just said, okay, I'll just mod in male and female. At least they don't have pronouns. That would have been really stupid. But they said, so Nexus Mods, they had the mod for male and female. And then They literally took the mod off. What a shocker, right? What a shocker. I'm not shocked at all that they took it down.
Holy shit.
I'm not shocked at all. Nexus Mods is a cesspool. Whoever works there, they have their own ideology. They don't give a fuck. They can do anything they want, but if it has to do with offending one type of, group of people, because fucking there's only 2 genders, male and female. I'm sorry, that's what it is. There's 2 genders. That's it. There's no third one. There's no fourth one. There's 2 genders. That's it. Damn, I don't understand why that's difficult. Why is that difficult?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
But here we go. Nexus Mods backpedals because of all the backlash. They said, okay, we give the mod back because they got exposed for doing more of this bullshit, Nexus Mods. This is why we have new mods now. New modders out there are taking over this, like base mods and what is the other one? MG. There's like MG something. I'm trying to think of the modders out there. Something MG. I forget. I've contact with him before when comments. I talked to him about it. But yeah, it's another platform where if people got banned off Nexus, they go there and you can download their mods. But so Nexus Mods backpedals. Nexus site allows male and female mod for Oblivion Remaster. They claim that the mod was never banned for the mod, but for the behavior of the mod maker. Sure. Yeah. Like, that's a bunch of bullshit. So they're like, oh, it's not because of the mod itself, it's because of the behavior. Get the fuck out of here with that shit, bruh. Bruh.
Huh?
No one gives a why are we lying here?
Bruh.
Why are we lying here? Can we just tell the truth? Can we just tell the truth why you guys didn't like it? Just tell it as is. It doesn't align with our ideology. It doesn't align with what we want in our bubble. Let's just say that. It doesn't align with us. It's not because it's the behavior of this person. Oh, really? Oh, really, huh? Then how does this explain anything? Check this out. The body type mod on Nexus is by far the most endorsed mod for Oblivion Remaster. They really fucked around and found out. Here it is. Most downloaded mod. This is the mod everyone downloads. This is like a must mod. So what does that mean? People are sick and tired of this bullshit. People are sick and tired of it. That's it. Why can't it just be male and female? You go back and play Mass Effect, there's no body type 1 and body type 2. It's literally male and female shepherd. Like, what are we doing here? What is this bullshit? Dude, I'm sick and tired of seeing that too. I really am. I know a lot of Japanese games. I think even Monster Hunter did it, but I'm not sure. In the new one. I'm sick and tired of seeing that. But it doesn't destroy the game itself. It's just a nuisance, and that's why you have mods. Mods help a lot when games have these problems. It's just like, sure, just a little fix, just changing literally the wording. And if you think about the whole thing, body type 1 and body type 2, if it's used in a real life scenario, they literally are saying males are number 1 and females are number 2. It's like misogyny, pretty much. It's like pretty sexist if you think about it. Why can't you just have male and female words? Not numbers, because numbers are different than words. You look at body type 1 and body type 2, and it literally looks down upon the females because of that. You don't go, you use your ID, your driver's license. It doesn't say your body type 1 or body type 2. Kind of deal. It wouldn't make no sense. It'd be like, what the fuck is this? What is this?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
What is going on here? Kind of deal. It just says male on your ID. It just says female. Because that's all it is. this stupid media projection, this stupid unrealistic internet what is it, like Twitter hole, I guess, kind of deal, or X. It's not real life. Internet thing that's going on with people talking is not real life. People don't act like this in the real world. So why can't we I can see, yes, it is a fantasy game, but in a fantasy game, they still say male and female. I don't think they say, oh, hello there, body type 1. Hello there, body type 2. No, it doesn't make no sense. It doesn't make no sense. So, yeah, this pissed off a lot of people, and it pissed off Nexus Mod, so they took it down, and then they brought it back up because the backlash was strong, and people just want to have fun and play some Oblivion. That's all it was. What endorsed not even 5% of the amount of downloads? Yes, the people who want it know how it's upvote things to artificially make them look better. You have literally proven you're nothing but the loud majority. Grow up. It couldn't possibly be because people download the mod from other sources because NM kept banning them. Right. Nah, gotta make up some bullshit cope. I don't think it is, because I feel like people actually really don't want that. But people are saying, yeah, it could be cope. I think it could be, but to be honest, we saw that with the Az and Starfield thing with the pronouns, and Az was right. Heels versus Babyface was right when we saw that a few years ago with Starfield. And it's like, dude, it's just pronouns. It's just this. It's just that. And then it got to the point where, yeah, it got really annoying, and we saw it in everything. Now it's toned down a bit now. Now they're not doing as much, but it's still going to appear here and there. But, yeah, it was just annoying. It was just annoying. If they look it down, why can't they still upvote? And why are the upvotes still not even 10% of the download? It is in case. Fact is, there is one group of people who spend their time upvoting and downvoting things, the things everyone else who have better things to do. If you want to see evidence of this, feel free to look at literally any other game and mod on the site. Millions of downloads are a couple of thousands upvote. Yeah. So they're saying, yeah, this was artificially upvoted, but I don't know. I don't think it is, but it could be. It could be artificially upvoted just to like own the chuds kind of deal. But I think it's not that. I think it's just people just enjoyed that finally someone made this mod, and finally I just want male and female. I don't want to see body type 1, body type 2. Again, it's not a big deal, but it is annoying to see it in a lot of games recently, and people just want to do that. So yeah, if I'm not planning to get Oblivion yet, but I will probably try it out later down the line, and I'll definitely download that mod. They could literally patch it up and put male and female anytime, but I don't know if Bethesda would do that. I don't know. And here's another one here with Pirate Nation. Here you go. See, Oblivion just beat out it's pretty easy to beat out these games. Let's be honest with these AAA games. Shadows and Assassin's Creed Shadows and Dragon Age the Veilguard. So yeah, it got destroyed with that. Yeah, so it got destroyed, and that's just it with that story. So everyone's pretty much liking it, besides some things here and there. Most people are liking it. No microtransactions, no problem. It's I think it's a $50 game by itself, and if you get the deluxe, you get extra DLC, extra things for it. Another $60. So like what I said, 50, 60 game. It's a game from the past, but it is a reasonable price for how much you're going to get for that. And then you have Nintendo on Nintendo Switch 2. You have Nintendo saying, oh, we want $80 for Mario Kart, the next Mario Kart game. Or for Donkey Kong, we want $70. Like, what? Where did this come from? Why can't it have been 60? Why? I would even accept like maybe 65. Why can't it be just that? or give me something more with it. $80? $80 gets you like a freaking like a guidebook collection like that. That's like good stuff. That's closer to the $100 mark. You should be getting some good stuff out of that, but whatever. Nintendo has been getting really greedy. That's for a fact. That's for a fact. Okay. Let's talk about Clair Obscur Expedition 33. This game, besides Oblivion, this game is literally, let's just say I played it a little bit. I played a little bit of it. I didn't get a big grasp of it yet, but I have played it. And so far what I've played, it's contender for Game of the Year. I'm not going to say anything more, but for what I've played, I feel like it has definitely a place for Game of the Year. Easily. Easily. And I've said it before. It was one of my most anticipated games. It was made by, I think, 30 or 33 people. Ex-Ubisoft employees who left the company, built their own company, the Samfall company. And they're like, let's make a game that a lot of people probably enjoy. Let's make one of those old like Final Fantasy, Lost Odyssey, Persona, Yakuza games and make it turn-based like the old Final Fantasy games were. With a great story, great characters, great world building, and then a great new turn-based system where you can interact in the turn-based modes. So a lot of people that are a little bit, on the fence of not liking turn-based games because maybe people like more action RPG style games have came out and said, wow, this game is actually really interesting. I might have to get into JRPGs because this is actually really fun. So it's doing really well. It really is. And a lot of people are enjoying it. And they should. They should because it's definitely a game that people, I didn't see it on my radar for being anything. I'm like, no. Everything I saw from the first glimpse on that Microsoft or Xbox event, I saw this game. I literally said, this game will be special. I just had a feeling this game is going to be special. And I thought it would be. And it is. It is a special game. It is a special game. Because right now on SteamDB, if I go on Clair Obscur Expedition 33, there's 85,000 people playing at this moment, and it's peaked 121,422. Really good. People say this is a AA game, but the budget for this is not as big as people think. The budget for this is more closer to an indie game. This is literally an indie game. And you could say this is a AA game, but it's not a AAA game. And it's beating out Assassin's Creed Shadows or even Dragon Age the Veilguard. Look at these numbers, all-time peak. Isn't that insane? I think this is insane for what they've done. It's very, very cool what they've done.
God damn.
It's pretty insane, right?
Oh my God.
It's people have said this game is making gaming great again. And I believe that. I really do. Everyone I hear about this saying it's positive all the time. People are saying it's like one of the best RPGs they've played for a long time. This is the game everyone wanted and Square Enix didn't give us. And this is it. This is the game. It's made by a French studio. And I'm surprised. It's a Western developed studio, ex-Ubisoft employees, with only 30 people making this game. It destroys every narrative completely in the gaming industry. It destroys everything about that. And that you cannot make a game with a minimal budget and still make it great. It destroys the concept of it completely. Complete. And it literally destroys Square Enix's point of view as well as a lot of the AAA studios out there that have 1,000 people working on it, where I said there's too much cooks in the kitchen, and this is what we get. And it's not pushing any stupid, political correctness or any other political this thing in there. It's just telling you a great story in this world with these characters. And as I played it through, I felt I couldn't stop playing it. I needed to stop. I'm like, I need to stop playing this game right now. I gotta do some things. But every time I played it, I just couldn't stop. It was so intriguing. It was so well made. The characters, you got actually feminine female characters that are awesome and badass, and you have masculine male characters that are also badass. And it's super refreshing to see. And people are saying, this is literally what games are all about. And I believe it. It really is. Because these are the games I've been missing for a long time. Something about this game is so special. And I can see this company building this game and have multiple different sequels to it. They could, or they can move on and do another story. I don't know. But what we see here is a special moment in gaming. It really is. It really is. And I'm so happy it's doing so well. I'm really happy for us. They really deserve it. They deserve everything about what's happening. So much so that I even posted this. I said, I'm glad that the game is doing amazingly well. Deserves it. This is the way to bring RPG turn-based quality games back. Fans have been waiting for Square Enix to do it, but never came to be. I've played a bit of it, and I have to say it's definitely my game of the year so far. So far. I don't want to say game of the year right now. Later down the year, this might be still my game of the year. We'll see. But what happened is Clair Obscur, Expedition 33, their Twitter just said, and here we are, 3 days after launch, 1 million copies sold. Thanks you for believing in Clair Obscur, Expedition 33. You love to see it. 1 million copies sold. Not 1 million people like Ubisoft said for Assassin's Creed Shadow. Not 1 million players playing right now, or literally looking at the game, or observing it, or just looking at the thumbnail of a video and it's moving, or just actually just looking at it. It's not observing or playing. It's literally 1 million copies sold. Straight up. Let's be transparent here. We sold more than Assassin's Creed Shadows. Straight up. And now they just said, yeah, we did that. And they said also, I think there was another post where they said they're still selling copies of physical as well at this moment. So they're doing really well altogether. And this game is doing phenomenally great overall. It's a great game, Expedition 33. Same with Oblivion. Oblivion's doing really well. So both of these games are doing so well that it's two RPG games. One is a remaster or remake, and one is a new IP. And it's just well made together. It's like a great kind of recipe, a great cake. It's great. It's like, give me another course. You give me Oblivion? Oh, that was great. What else do you have? Oh, you have dessert? Oh, Expedition 33. Oh, this is great. Like, this is what gaming's all about. We're getting some great games finally coming out. And people are loving these games. They're doing really well. Finally, some good-ass games, right? I've been just doing my backlog of games recently, just playing older games. There's no, actually legit good newer games out there. There are some here and there if you look closely. But most of them, they're on the indie side, I would say, or the AA side. AAA has been doing really bad with all the layoffs as well in the studios. But, yeah, this is doing really well. And I'm really glad to see it. I love to see it. There's more here. Let me show you guys. let me show you what's up. A lot of things here. All right. I gotta find my bookmark. Okay, here we go. There we go. And then you could see how many awards it got. Words can't fully express how we feel at the end of this week. Tomorrow comes. Thank you to you all. Look at all these. 9s out of 10s, 10s out of 10s. Holy crap, dude. 5 out of 5. It's insane. And you know what the weird part is? No one's actually... People and like journalists and reviewers, like critics, are actually agreeing with the players with this one. It's not like Dragon Age Veilguard where we had, players disliking it and the critics were shilling about this. It's not getting shilled. And I'm actually surprised. I'm like, what is going on? It's probably because it's an Xbox Game Pass title. If it wasn't an Xbox Game Pass and they weren't like shilling so hard, they probably would say they probably tried to slander this game in some way. These journals out there and the main media. But they're just agreeing with the players, which is really awesome to see. This is like super positive. Like this is like massively positive. Like I haven't seen like this kind of phenomenon in the gaming sphere in a long time. It's always discourse. Because there should be discourse. People you should have criticism, This game is not perfect at all. It's not perfect, but it has something to it that's special. It's not perfect, and it probably shouldn't be perfect. No game can be perfect, in my view. That's just my opinion. There could be some criticism you can find here and there. They're tiny bit, but most of the time, it can be actually a decent, great game. And it's still happening like that. It's doing really well. So, let me show you more. Keeps on coming. It's not... Since it's doing so well, guess what? It's getting a movie. It just came out. Hold up. Wait a minute. Hold up. Why is it getting a movie?
Holy shit.
Why? Details on the live-action Clair Obscur Expedition 32 film. Being co-developed by the Sonic franchise producer. Casting and director search is now underway. Interesting. It's so weird that it's getting a movie too. So, again, more W's for this. It's getting a movie. Well, it's already like a movie anyways. So it's like, what? What is going on here? Kind of deal. And here's another one. Here's another one from this person, Sebi Webbs. I don't know who this is, but for 20 years straight, Final Fantasy fans have been gaslit that no one wants turn-based combat. That will never sell. That they're wrong for even wanting it. Expedition 33 destroyed that lie in a single day. Yup. Because it made 500,000 in a single day. Copies. So, yeah. Square can eat it so bad right now. I don't know if they're watching Square this game, but if they are, they should be worried. They should be worried on what is happening right now. They should be looking into this and be like, wow, people like this in the West? Like, kind of deal. And I've heard rumors that Square might be going into the next one for Final Fantasy 17. They might go into like a hybrid where they might give you turn-based style and action RPG, which is just a lot of work, to be honest. And I don't think that would work too well. They could do like what they did with Final Fantasy 7, remake kind of deal, where it's that kind of style. I'm okay with that. It's not too bad. But I think this style of turn-based is a great leap. It's a great leap forward because a lot of people have been missing this kind of style. But we have also people, let's just say on the internet, that have been, let's just say, I'm just gonna be straight up. It's the anti-woke side. And like I said, I'm not a big fan of neither the woke side or the anti-woke side, because the woke side puts their ideologies and they put it in strong, which I'm really against that stuff. And then the anti-woke side is very like, we need to censor all this. This is not how it is and all that. And it's exposing the real grifters out there. And they say, oh, these other people are grifters, all this and that. No. They're actually getting exposed now. That they're just spewing engagement farming people to... It's almost like a psyop, I would say, of engagement farming. Telling people to think like this. But when you look at the real reasoning for thinking it, it destroys every argument that is made. And people that have been watching and listening, people always say, oh, you just don't want this, don't want that. No. I never said that. I meant you can have woke games if you want. You can have your anti-woke games if you want. I just want normal ass games. I just want normal kind of games, just to get out and create what you want to do, what you want to make. I've said that before. I'm not for any side, to be honest. I never was. Never was. Yeah, I don't like it when they push my ideologies and they push political messaging in something that I want to immerse myself into this world, and then they add literally things into the real world, into my game. I really don't like that. You can also say that, oh, Metal Gear has political stuff in there. Yeah, but Metal Gear is still grounded enough to be still, its own source. It has a lot of interesting factors, and it's told well. A lot of writers out there in today's gaming sphere are bad at writing, and they don't tell it well. They just push messages into the game. But the anti-woke side is also very aggressive in where, like, we don't want any black people in this game. We don't want this woman to be in this game. Look at this woman and this and that. It's like, no. We never said that. We never said that. No. Let's hold up. Wait a minute. That's not what we said. That's not what we said.
Hey, yo, what the fuck? God damn.
We didn't say that.
Huh?
So, here's one from Mugen Lord. Said it pretty well. So here we go. Yo, the game just reached 1 million copies sold, and yet we are bitching about the appearances of black NPCs and the age of Melia? I probably said her name wrong. Melia in a fictional setting. Because people say, oh, this is a French setting. No. It's a French culture, but it's not French setting. It's not France. It's not Paris. It's none of those. It's its own fantasy world. Like we saw with Final Fantasy 16. It was all British, but it's still drawn like Japanese style kind of, animation. But it's still British. But, it's not going full out, the world of Britain or London or anything. No, it doesn't even have those names. It's a different world completely. So it's, again, missing the mark. Again, just saying things because to offend someone. Again, just engagement farming, pretty much. Can you all just shut the fuck up and play the game? Agree, just play the game. Stop looking at, oh, there's so many black NPCs in the game. Who the fuck cares?
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
Holy
No one cares.
shit.
No one cares. Shut up. This small studio just exposed the AAA studios big time. This is a high quality game at $50. When studios have been gaslighting us into believing that game needs to be $60 or more in order to create the titles at the level of quality. Again, Nintendo's the same way. Nintendo did the same thing with the Nintendo Switch 2 with their games. They made it 80. Why is it? What this quality game right here is a $40 or $50 game. Straight up. And I feel like I'm getting more out of this right now than if I ever did for anything else that I've played recently. You know, there's games, okay, I could see 60, that's fine. But 60 even then, it just breaks the narrative of that, even that. Because that means smaller devs, smaller devs, you don't have to pay as much now for the devs, but the devs also get a lot back now since it's doing really well because they worked their hard ass time with it and they're fans of this kind of genre. That's what it is. The game has a solid cast of characters, nicely designed, integrating story, and the combat is not only turn-based, but it's engaging. The game isn't perfect, but is doing the right thing that Western studios had seemed to had forgotten. Yes. 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 Yes.
Oh my God!
Yes. And learn to take the fucking W. We are gamers, right? Gameplay and well-crafted storytelling and world should be the highest of priorities. The other bullshit is just noise at this point. Yes. Hell yeah, he's speaking facts here. My Xbox copy will be here in 3 days. No, I don't do Game Pass. I would kindly pay physical to support this game and the devs who worked hard on it. I agree. I paid for this game. I did. I got the digital because I got it on Steam, but I did pay for it. I paid for it. I don't have a PlayStation 5 or an Xbox Series X. I have PC, so most of my games are digital. Fortunately, I wish I could do physical. If maybe it was on GOG, I would get it. Maybe then, but I don't know. I have it on Steam. But, yeah. Definitely a W for sure. That was just great what he just said. That was awesome. Definitely a W. Like, shut up. Shut the fuck up with this shit. You know, this bullshit narrative with the anti-woke that are talking about this. It's so stupid. It's literally engagement farming. It's fully engagement. This is why I say don't attack these people. I say never do. Don't harass them. Don't do anything. Just take a picture of their idiocy, what they said, and just say, well, for later, you know what to do. You know, don't even engage. Don't even engage, because if you engage with them, that's what they want. They want to be engaged. That's what I say. When people are literally don't have any common sense, they have no critical thinking, and they just say things out of nothing and no reverency, no factual information, like, don't engage. You're just giving more power to them. So what you do is you just literally, I would even quote tweet any of these people, to be honest. Never. What you do is literally what I said, take picture, and for later just say, well, this is what you said, right? What happened? You know, or something, you know? And these are the real grifters. The real anti-woke grifters are out there. See? This is just exposing that. And these people are trying to start something again with like another Gamergate 3, which I hate the word Gamergate in general, but they're trying to do that again. And it's not working out. They're getting literally roasted online. It's like, nope, nope, nope. You know? And a lot of bot accounts are trying to like their posts and make them more relevant on the site itself. And it's bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. No one's complaining about this. Why can you just take the W? Literally. Why are you looking at black NPCs? Why are you looking at this and that? It's like, no one gives a fuck. It's literally a fantasy world. It's not real. It's not like Assassin's Creed Shadows. That's literally based on real people, but in like I don't know what kind of scenario. Like, real world events, but it's not real world. It's like, what the fuck are we doing here with Assassin's Creed Shadows? You know? It's weird. It's weird. But Expedition 33, definitely a dub for sure. Don't listen to all this noise. Or literally, there is like dumbass stuff. And that's why I went off the... I took a break too because there's so much shit going on. I was like, what the fuck is this bullshit? Like, people need to be literally talking about this and be like, these guys are absolutely ridiculous what they're talking about here. Sorry guys, I'm looking at I thought I had a message going up. But they're just ridiculous and they're just getting exposed of how dumb they actually are. How stupid their arguments are. They're just stupid. They're stupid. They don't make no sense. And then there's actually arguments that actually do make sense. You know, like I've said in my other videos, it's just an interesting concept. Like we talk about like even like the women stuff, what like how they directly change women in the Unreal Engine 5 and like the textures and all that. It's very interesting. Like, you know, you don't want one side to be, like I said, one side is getting weaker now than the other side, but you don't want the other side to get stronger too. So what you want, you need a nice balance in between kind of deal, you know? You don't want that to be a problem because that's when it gets real shit. Because you get all this like strong ass like censorship later now. You don't have the creative freedom, you know? Yes, you know, woke won't sell. Obviously, the modern audience won't come and support it. That's a given. But you can still make those games. And you can still, you know, make fun of them and criticize them if you like. That's okay. You can do that. But, and then, you know, the market will decide if the game's good or not. Depends on, you know, if people will support it. But you don't want to censor them either. Because if you start censoring things, that's when it gets a problem. You don't have the freedom of thought. You don't have freedom of creativity. And that's also a reason that we don't want to go into. We don't want to go into that kind of category. We need to be centered and we need to understand what is this premise and what is going on. Get everything in row, your ducks in row, and see what we can do here. Not just, you know. But Expedition 33 in general is doing well. And I'm happy to see this. Definitely in Game of the Year so far for me. What I've played, I really enjoyed it. It was super impactful and emotional at the beginning. And the music, oh my God, the music, top tier. Top tier music. I highly recommend guys checking this game out. I really do recommend it. If you're not a turn-based RPG fan, I still recommend it. It has some interesting parry system, dodging system. So you still have to interact while learning the turn-based system. But there's a lot of interactions because the interactions give you better bonuses, better attack power when you're doing stuff. So it is really good. It's a fantastic game. Definitely, I recommend it. Check that out. Okay. Here we go to the next subject, guys. This will be our last topic for today. So we got this. And if you guys are a big fan of games, but also movies, which game movies kind of don't mix, let's just say they don't. But if you're a big fan of Sydney Sweeney, well then, I have something for you and here. So, Sydney Sweeney is getting a big rise. We know Sydney Sweeney, you know, getting a big rise, mostly for her assets. Let's just say, let's be honest here. She's a good-looking woman, but also, is she a gamer? I had this question up, but right now, let's read this from Jeff Keighley, Game Awards himself. Sydney Sweeney will star in the film adaptation Joseph Ferris' Split Fiction, a really good game that could be nominated for Game of the Year. Split Fiction was a really good game. People enjoyed it. So she is going to be an actor in it. But I also heard that she will be producing it as well. So she is teaming up with the Wolverine and Deadpool 3 director to do this. And she's also producing it. And she will be in it. Interesting, right? Very, very interesting. Very, very interesting. And we got another one here. Check this out. Outrun. Remember Outrun, this game? This old-ass game? Like Sega Genesis and all sorts of things? Yeah, so there's going to be an Outrun game, which is weird, but okay. Outrun is headed to Hollywood. Michael Bay is directing a movie based on Sega's iconic Outrun, with Sydney Sweeney producing. They're not saying she'll be in it, but I'm guessing she's in it. She's probably the blonde girl next to the dude right there in the car. Dude. Put Sydney Sweeney in that car. Dude, if they do the Transformers Megan Fox thing again, you just made a bunch of money right there. Just with that. You had that cart scene. She opens the hood. She's doing car stuff. Sydney Sweeney. Oh, sign me up. Sign me up, dude. Sign me up. No joke. That would be pretty good, dude.
Oh my God!
That's pretty sick. No casting yet, but expecting exotic cars, synthwave vibes, and probably many explosions. Sign me up, dude. That sounds sick.
God damn!
That sounds sick, dude. It sounds awesome. And yeah, it's just a basic game. If you think about it, it's super basic. You just drive and go and get points. But if you add this cool element, this cool vibe, like kind of make it like Drive. I feel like if it was like Drive, the Ryan Gosling movie, with a synthwave vibe, you can have tiny explosions here or there, but you don't need to make this like a high budget movie. You can make this like a lower budget movie and still be good. But I know Michael Bay likes the big explosions, big action scenes. She's producing it. Again, she is producing this movie. She's producing Outrun and Split Fiction at the same time. Like, and then I posted this. Let me go to my thing. And I said, is Sydney Sweeney a lover of games? Question mark. Because it is really weird that she's doing these games. She's producing the games, movies, and the directors. Just the announcement of her producing and maybe acting in 2 gaming adaptations for Outrun and Split Fiction is a bit interesting for sure. But I'm in it for the ride. Either way, we'll see what they can do with those IPs. Yes, I'm in it, dude. Sounds good. Put Sydney Sweeney in anything, I'm going to watch it, dude. I don't know. It has to be done. Dude, why is Sydney Sweeney not Samus Aran in Metroid? Dude. No, they would have to get a bigger woman. She's like I think she has a high heel. She's a little bit bigger. But if they did, it would be awesome. She doesn't, what she would do, she would have obviously the armor on for a long time in Metroid, if I think about it. But she could do Zero Suit Samus for sure. She can have talking monologues. A bunch of things she could do, but yeah. I feel like she needs. I think she could act. People say she's not a good actress. She's not a good actor. I think she could act. I think she could. I'm pretty sure she could. It's just she needs that role to really boost her score or boost her up more. I feel like she could. But the thing is, she's mostly known for her looks. Let's just say that. Her assets. And there was that one movie with Glenn Powell. Just a second, guys. That one movie with Glenn Powell. She did really good in that. That was more of a romantic comedy kind of deal. And she did good in that. So I think she could do it. She just needs the right kind of push or the movie that she could fit. I don't think she. And Madam Web didn't help. Madam Web actually, she had a laugh on that because she knew it was going to be ass, and that's why it's a great, her attitude about the whole thing was great, and that's why people dig her just in general. She just has this great attitude, and people just love her presence. And of course, she's also hot. That also helps. But people just like her. She's a likable person, kind of deal. And give her something big in a bigger role, and I feel like she could do it. She could probably do it. And she has her own production company too. And that's actually really good because she could literally be like, fuck Hollywood, I'm not doing this. And she makes her own movies. Like, that's insane. That's awesome. Awesome to see. She has it all. She has it all. But, so, not just Outrun. If this comes up. Not coming up right now. Wait. So, not just Outrun and Split Fiction's coming. There's many movies coming, actually, with games products. Here's one already. Here's a list of them, actually. So, here we go. There is 44 video game movies in the works. How many of them will actually come out? That's the question, right? So, Outlast, I can see that. Helldivers 2, I can see that. What the fuck is this? The Marker Assistant, I have no clue what that is. Watch Dogs, I could see that, but it'd probably be ass. Sonic the Hedgehog 4, we know that. Yep. Days Gone, I could see that. There's a lot I can see here. Death Stranding, I could see that. You just get Norman Reedus. Literally, Norman Reedus will play it. Like, any of those actors will play it that Kojima got. Dead by Daylight. I thought there was already, but it'd probably be a show. I would say Dead by Daylight show, but Dead by Daylight's lore is kind of whack. Not gonna lie. Exit 8. Okay, maybe. Legend of Zelda, we know about that. I talked about that before with Legend of Zelda. Yup. What we got? Resident Evil. I talked about that. There's a video about this. I actually made a video about this. That Resident Evil's, they're doing a live action again. As you know, I'm a fan of Resident Evil. And yeah. I'm not really excited about it. I'm cautious and I am optimistic, but I'm still cautious about it. Here we go. Outrun. Split Fiction. We know that too. There you go. BioShock. That could work. That could work. Yeah. I maybe a TV show? Movie? Yeah, maybe. Just Cause. Interesting. That feels like Michael Bay for sure. Just Dance. Oh, that's going to be ass. Five Nights at Freddy sequel. Okay, I liked Five Nights at Freddy. I thought it was pretty decent. It was a good movie. It wasn't the best movie, but it was really good. I enjoyed it. Can't wait for that one. Martha is Dead. I don't know what that is. Metal Gear Solid. Oh, I've heard about this years before with Metal Gear Solid. I've heard about this. Metal Gear Solid. Yeah, I don't know if this will be actually coming out. I have no clue, but it would be interesting. Hopefully they don't disrespect it. Mortal Kombat 2, yes, I know. That's for a fact. Pac-Man, I've heard of this, yes. Pokemon Detective Pikachu sequel, yes, I've heard of that too. Poppy's Playtime, oh my gosh. I don't even know. Portal, excuse me. Excuse me, guys. Excuse me. I don't know if you guys heard that, but it was a burp. It was a burp. Portal. Yeah. Interesting concept. I don't know how it would work, but okay. Rabbits. I don't like the rabbits. I'm sorry. I'm not a big fan of these rabbits. No. They're spooky. Yeah, Return to Silent Hill. I know about this. They're doing Silent Hill 2 movie. Yep. And if you guys don't know, they're making There is a on YouTube. It's going to be coming out soon. There's going to be a fan-made Silent Hill 2 movie. So yeah, I made a video about that. You could check it on the channel as well. I talked about that. But yeah, they're making that too, and Hollywood is also making one. Saints Row. I don't know how that would work out. I would rather let them go with Saints Row 1 and 2 kind of style, where it's just gang shit, territories and stuff. But I don't want that kooky, weird ass stuff in like 3 and 4 did. Don't know. Sifu, that could work. That's with the John Wick. Slime Rancher? I don't know that one. Base Channel 5. Base Channel 5. That would be interesting and weird. Okay. Space Invaders. I could see that. Like a modern take on it. Stray? Dude, I don't even know. It's going to be a CGI cat. They're not actually going to get a real cat for this. I doubt it. Street Fighter. Yes, I've been wanting a new Street Fighter. Even though I know a lot of people hate the old Street Fighter live action movie. I thought it's cheesy, but it was fun. I think it's okay. It's not like the best movie. The Mortal Kombat one is a little bit better. Again, it's cheesy as well. From the 90s. The newer Street Fighter with the Legend of Chun-Li, that one's actually ass. But I feel like Street Fighter with the anime style it had back in the day, with Street Fighter 2 kind of style, I think that would work. That would be good with the anime style. But live action could work too. In my cast, I casted a live action new adaptation of Street Fighter, how it would work out. I have it in my cast. You can look at it in my link tree down below if you guys want to check that out. Because I have also my own Resident Evil show and my own Street Fighter show that I would like if it was made. It would be cool. Streets of Rage movie. Oh, this would be cool. This would be interesting. I need to do a MyCast for Streets of Rage movie. I think that would be cool. But I think the John Wick director is also working on this one too. Yeah. Another project with John Wick link to it. Okay. So this could be very cool. Combat-wise. This could be really cool if it's done correctly. Streets of Rage. That could be cool. That could be very cool. Talking Tom? I have no clue what that is. Bendy and the Ink Machine? Oh, yeah, I've heard of that. Yeah, with an animation style, it could work. Comic Zone. Interesting. That is a weird one, too. Huh. Clair Obscur Expedition 33. There you go. Actually official. I heard about this, and now it's actually official. Wow. It's already a movie, so there you go. Horizon Zero Dawn. Of course they're going to do this. Of course. The most overrated IP for Sony is this game. It's not bad, but it's not as phenomenal as everyone thinks it is. It's just all right, Duke Nukem? Oh, if it's done correctly, this could be amazing. Duke Nukem. Hell yeah. You need to make it super edgy, though. No bullshit. Take out all the sensitive stuff. Make it gory. Make it crazy, kooky. You have to. Duke Nukem is literally... Make it offensive as possible. It's just crazy stuff. It would be hilarious. Firewatch? Yeah, I could see that. Ghost of Tsushima? That would be cool. That would be cool. Old school I want it to be Japanese dubbed, though. Like, yeah, I want it to be Japanese dubbed so I can... With English sub, I want that. I would watch that for sure. If it's one of those like black and white movies, samurai movies, that would be awesome. I would be okay with that. Gravity Rush, yeah, I know about that. Iron Lung, I don't know about that. That's it here. Okay, so there's a lot here. I also heard about Battletoads, I think, and Earl and Toad Jam or whatever it's called, and Earthworm Jim as well. There's so much games they're like pulling from. It's ridiculous. There's so many. And yeah, some of these could be hit or miss, but some of them could be actually well done. So now Hollywood is going into the gaming genre phase, because what is going on with Hollywood right now is they're running out of ideas. The creative ideas are gone. The writers are ass for these movies. So they're going into gaming now, since, it's doing really well in general with some of these movies. And it's because of the nostalgia, but also the passion, and they understand the fans, and that is why it's doing well. If you get away from the fans and do your own thing for these, they won't be as a big hit as if it was made for the fans. That's always the number one priority. Make this for fans. You're a fan of this project, the director or the writer or whatever, and make this for the fans. And if the fans appreciate it and love it, they'll come back to see it again and again and again, because they'll love it. And if you put a little like Easter eggs here and there, that's even a plus. But make it the story, the characters, close to. It's not going to be always the same, but close to the game counterpart if you can. And have it the same story, have it same, plot. The characters, the actors are right casting for each character and everyone. Yeah, you have all of this. You have a money-making movie right there. And everything's written for you. That's what I don't understand when movies look into games and then they don't even copy the source material. And the source material, it's like all written for you right there. You just got to change a little bit things here and there, but it's all written for you right there. All the source material is there for you. It's just an easy win for you guys, but for some reason, you just can't copy what it is. You really can't. And we see that also with Last of Us right now. Last of Us is almost 1-to-1 in some ways. Sometimes it's different. They did some changes here and there, but mostly the same, 1-to-1. And a lot of people still didn't like Last of Us Part 2 because of the Abby and Joel part, as we know, the golf club, part. But most people are pretty much saying, yep, we're not going to be watching that no more. Well, what do you expect? The gamers have said it before that this is going to happen. This was in the games itself. So you can't get out of this situation. And now people are like, oh, I'm jumping off now. I'm not watching this because Joel's dead. Kind of deal, But yeah. That's just how it goes. That's how it is. But yeah, that was it for it. That is pretty much it with all the topics for today, guys. I thank you so much. Again, like the stream before you leave, guys. Sub if you liked this stream. For more video on here, you can check me out. I'll try to make some videos for you guys, if I can. Still getting into the vibe of things here, getting back into it. I'll see what I can do. We'll see if you guys want me to talk about different things, let me know in the comments below. Anything else, you can join the Discord community as well. I post a lot of things on there. I post a lot of things on here on YouTube as well, and other places as well. Find me on X, Twitter, everything linked below to find me and everywhere else, if you like. So yeah. Thank you so much again, guys. I appreciate all of you, and I appreciate all you MVPs that watch this live stream back. You guys are the best. You guys are one of the best, and you are probably one of my subs, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And thank you so much for watching. I really do. All right, guys, let's end this. I'll see you guys maybe on Friday. I'll let you guys know Friday or Saturday or Sunday. I got to talk to my guests that are coming to the show. We'll see how it goes. And yeah, thank you so much again, guys. I'll see you in the next one. Have a good one, guys. Have a good Tuesday. Have a good week. For now. I will see you soon.
Are you not entertained?